Hi guys, welcome back to First Choice Crafts. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a little project I just came up with. I'm going to be sharing with you some bowls that I'm going to texturize and make it kind of like a designer look. I'm going to put some texture on them and just make them pop a little bit more. And so first, these bowls I wanted to share with you. These bowls right here, I bought from Temu. I love these bowls. They come out so cute. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you some of these, how they come out. And it's a lot. And you can use the same project on these bowls as well. And so I'm going to be sharing with you these bowls at the end of the video. I will leave a link to these bowls in the description below so you can purchase them off Temu at a very good, affordable price. At a very affordable price. And so you get so many of them. So I'm gonna share these with you at the end of the video. There'll be a link to these in the description below. And also this come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, right? So you can have either a large bow or a small bow. This just make it, it's about the same size. The back part of it, it's just that these two make it either a little smaller or fatter. So I'm gonna be using the fatter one today. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it out. Put it on this paper and cut it out. And then I'm gonna put it on my die cut machine. I just want to add some texture to these bowls just to make them pop and look better. So they just don't look so plain. I'm gonna run it through this machine here. Okay, let me put this machine up, out the way. Plug back up my fan. Guys, if you hear a fan going, it's hot in this room that I'm in right now. This office area, my air unit don't work so good in this office area, but in the summer, so I have a fan in here. So excuse that little noise, but I'm sure you still can hear me. All right, guys, so this is the bow here. Let me take these out. This way. All right, guys, so now we have our bowl pieces. So what I'm going to do now is to give it some texture, and you can use any kind of folder you want. So what I'm going to use is an embossing folder. And then I found out, someone showed this on YouTube, that if you use a foam piece of paper in the embossing folder, it won't crack your paper, because sometimes it'll press so hard that it'll crack your paper. So I found that to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that method today to emboss these, just to give it a nice design. I'm going to face it up. Just to give it a nice design, you know, and to make my bow pop and have some texture to it. And so I'm going to put it this way, because that's the way I want the design to be. And you make sure you get it in the middle, so you have everything. This way it won't press down so hard and it won't crack your paper. Okay? And then I'm gonna just fold it in there, and I'll run it through my Cuttlebug, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I ran it through the Cuttlebug, and this is how it looks. You see how the design is? Isn't that gorgeous? I'll only turn it over so you can see the front. You see? And it's not cracked or anything. Love it. It came out cute. Turn it to the front. And that just gives the bow a more beautiful, dainty look to it. And it adds texture. It makes it pop. Love it. Okay? So that's how I did that. And I'm going to now put this bow together. So I'm going to start off with this part first. Let me turn this fan away. Just blow on my things. Okay. And I just want it to be fatter on the top. So fold this over a little bit like so. Fold this over. So they all have about the same. I'm gonna line it up. Make sure they're all about the same. Fold. And that looks about right. So I'm gonna fold it up like that. And I just want to put glue on this part here and on here. I just want to line it up in the middle. Hopefully you can see. Line it up in the middle. And I'm just going to slide that in there and press down. Okay, so to catch on the paper. Press down. Catch on the paper. See how that's coming together? Then I'm going to just wrap my little piece, my middle piece, around there. And I'm just going to put some glue here to do that. Just wrap my little piece around there. This is when it benefits to have skinny fingers. My fingers aren't that skinny, but it's fine. I still can work with it. Hold that there. And look how precious that is, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? That's just gorgeous. And to puff up this bow some, I'm just going to slide this in there. Just to hold it. You know, I could get something else to do it, but I'm going to use this. See? Just to puff up that bow. And see how gorgeous that's coming out? Then this piece, you just simply put it on here, on the back. Like that. Line it up in the middle. And look how gorgeous. Look how pretty that is, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Then, to add a little something to it, I'm going to put a bead in the middle of there. I'm going to put a flat bead in the middle. So I'm going to take one of these out of here and just put it in the middle. Isn't that gorgeous? In the middle of there. And don't worry about the white, because it's gonna, don't worry about the glue, because it's gonna dry clear. So I got this dries clear. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? That's just gorgeous. Isn't that nice? And you see the texture on the bow? It's gorgeous. Love it. Very nice. And so it's just not like a plain old bow. You got that little pop there. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, guys. So that's that project. That's how I enhance my bows, by adding a little texture. And it's gorgeous. And you can use any embossing folder that you have to make them pop. Again, I'll share a link to these particular bows at the end of the video. And now let me show you some bows that I've already made. Here's one. It's pink. And the only thing about this bow is I just did it without this ribbon part. I just made it like that. So you can do your bows like this from here as well. I mean, from, you know, this particular one and that. So that's one of the bows. And I added texture onto that as well. And the same type of texture I added to a yellow one. Isn't that gorgeous? It's another one. And then I added that texture to here. You can do it with designer paper as well. You can add a little texture to some designer paper. I don't know if you can see it good. That's how the back look. But I don't know if you can see it good, but the texture is there. You probably have to see it in person to see the texture of the bow. But isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Then I used another type of embossing folder, and I add like little dots. And I used some gloss paper. And that's how this came out. And I added an embossing folder that had like dots on it. So I embossed it with dotted embossing folder. Isn't that gorgeous? So that one is that. And then this one as well I did with the dots. And I used gloss paper. So if you use the method that I told you with the embossing folder with the foam, I'm sure a lot of you might already know about that. It just keeps the paper from pressing so hard. You know, it relieves a lot of stress on the paper. And then I've also used some of the little ones in this package. And I embossed them as well. So here's some little ones that I've done. And these are cute for like cards and stuff, little projects you want to add a bow to. This. And then also this one. Put a little bead on it. Isn't it gorgeous? That one. So guys, that's how I did these bows. So again, if you're interested in these bows, I will leave a link to them in the description below. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.